I had to stop running away from using my voice and using my platform to, speak on what's true and what's mine. No.
Welcome to Hide and Seek TV. It's your boy, and I am back. It's been a minute since I've done a sports video. I'm about to get ready to tap into this Kyrie Irving situation. It's time for some real talk. If you ain't trying to hear it, you can simply exit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to delve deep into this. As y'all know, you already know how serious and how deep I go with these sports videos. Because like I said, it's all about who got the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You feel what I'm saying? So first off, I want to start this out with First Maccabees 1:14. So they built the gymnasium in Jerusalem according to the Gentile custom and removed the marks of circumcision and abandoned the holy covenant. They joined with the Gentiles and sold themselves to do evil. So let's delve into this about your boy Kyrie Irving, because this is a very serious character. Very serious, you know what I mean? And I actually got a whole breakdown on him. I'm actually below. I'm gonna put my whole NBA series in the comment section and pin it below, because I did a breakdown on him. I'm gonna put that in there too individually, so you can just go right to it if you want to check it out. Because this guy's life is just is a big script. But what I want to talk about, obviously, with your boy Kyrie Irving, he started out wearing number 2. And when you understand the number 2, like I've been breaking this down on my channel for a while now, when you understand the first and second coming theme, and I'm gonna break this down in this video. When you understand a cavalier, which is so deep, it's because a cavalier was nothing but a supporter of King Charles, right? And King Charles is obviously the son of King James. You know what I'm saying? And it's very serious on why King James, LeBron James, had to be drafted to Cleveland, Ohio, with the Cavaliers, because that was very symbolic. You feel what I'm saying? It's very symbolic. I've been breaking this stuff down all throughout my channel, throughout these months. But like I said, a Cavalier is nothing but a supporter of King Charles, which was nothing but a son of King James. You know what I'm saying? So you hint the whole thing why they had to have a King James in the NBA. So let's get deep, because obviously the number 2, when you look at it, this is very important, because when you understand the number 2, as you can see, it looks like a gate in the Roman numerals. It looks just like a gate. And remember, as it's written, the Messiah is our bridge. He is our gate. You know what I'm saying? So you understand this, how deep this goes, because the number 2 as well, when you understand the zodiacs, the number 2 as well deals with the Gemini. Gemini sign, which is nothing but the creating of the gate, the double door, the twin. And obviously, when you understand the Gemini is what? It's an air sign. So I want to use that as an example, because remember during the crucifixion, as it's written, but one of the soldiers with his spear stuck the Messiah through his ribs and therefore punctured the lungs, and came out blood and water. You feel what I'm saying? And it's deep stuff, because I'm going to get into that later on. Because hence the whole theme of the I can't breathe, with the lungs being punctured during the crucifixion. And I'm going to get into that later on. But what I want to talk about is why they're rejecting, Kyrie Irving. That's why they, had to have that theme go on, because hint now he's a net. I'm going to get into that later. But remember, I was just talking about Messiah, I can't breathe. Hint the whole theme of everything going on with the big, Rona situation. So I'm going to play this right quick and chime on in. Listen to this. All right, so let's delve deep, because if you remember characters like Bane, or character off Batman, or characters like if you play Mortal Kombat, remember Cabal, you know how they wear the mask and that's the only way they're able to breathe, and that's the only way they have power. So I'm gonna play this right quick, because that's the whole theme of why they're attacking Kyrie. Just pay attention to this.
Fuck your mask off. Mask on.
Hint, mask on.
Fuck your mask off.
Take the mask off.
Mask on.
Percocet, Molly Percocet, because hint the whole theme of them trying to say put the mask on, which the whole theme we're going through right now. And then the whole theme of that is removing the mask, because remember I said that they don't want Messiah to be able to breathe and come into power, and the saints. And then you see how they said, okay, put the mask on, then Molly Percocet, put the mask back on. Because I was trying to say, remember in the scriptures, as it's written, through the blood of the Lamb, that we shall overcome the Masons, that we shall overcome them, Satan's army. So hence the whole theme of corrupting the blood. So that's why they're trying to enforce that through the NBA. You know what I mean? That's why you got people like Jordan speaking out on it. That's why you got people Stephen A. Smith and so forth. You feel what I'm saying? It all is in our face. You know what I mean? It's all in our face, you know, and it's all about who got the eyes to see and ears to see. I mean, ears to hear. You feel me? So I want to keep this thing rolling because remember, after Kyrie was a Cavalier, what did he become? He became a Celtic. Remember that during that time he became number 11. That goes right back what I was just showing about the gate. Come on, man. No way around this. Just to prove my point. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand the Boston Celtics, hint the leprechaun, because all that deals with is what? Hint, this is all blasphemy of Messiah, you know, going across the rainbow, the covenant of the Most High to reach the kingdom and become king and get the gold and rule the earth. You know what I mean? That's all that's was about symbolically. It's just all blasphemy of how they utilize it. But notice this whole thing. You feel what I'm saying? It's all in our face. And notice how now he's a Brooklyn Net. So I want to talk deep, and I want y'all to hear me out. Pay attention to this. Let's take it to Psalms 110 right quick. When you understand it as it's written in Psalms 110, verse 7, he shall drink of the brook in the way, therefore shall he lift up the head. Hint that he shall drink of the brook in the way, and therefore shall he lift up the head. Everything comes together because when you understand how serious that goes, hint Brooklyn, and then hint the Nets and how he continues to wear number 11. And as it's written, and again the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered up every other kind. You know, so that stuff is serious. That's why they targeting Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? And I want to get deep on the Brooklyn Nets right quick because when you understand how the Brooklyn Nets, what dynamic they had to create the big three. We already know Kyrie, Durant, and Harden. You feel what I'm saying? And I want to get into this right quick, real fast. Because when you understand Kevin Durant, how he started with Texas. And remember I said Texas is the Lone Star Longhorn State. And as it's written that the Messiah is the Star of Bethlehem and the horns of salvation. So you see how he started out with Texas Longhorns. Then he become an OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. Because when you understand how deep that goes, it's just written, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So hint this whole thing. You see how deep that goes. And then how Durant, he joins up with Golden State Warriors because when you understand Golden State Warriors, hint the Golden Gate Bridge. Remember I was just talking about the Messiah is the gate. Remember I was showing the number 11, the number 2. And then I was showing y'all about the double door. You know what I mean? The gate, the 11, the gate, the 2. You see how deep this stuff goes, man. And it's all in our face every day. So you see our Golden State Warriors. And then as it's written, and I will bring the third part through the fire. This is talking about the saints of God. And I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as silver is refined and try them as gold is tried. They should call on my name and I will hear them and I will say it as my people and they should say the Lord is my God. So I had the Golden State Warriors. Let's get deeper. Hint how Durant obviously, you know, now is a net. You feel what I'm saying? So it all comes together, man. Let's go deeper. Remember John Wall was out there with Harden, and Harden's like, I got to get up out of here. Remember Houston Rockets. Because when you understand the Texas, hint Durant played for Texas and Harden played for Texas. And then hint how Houston is called the Space City. You feel what I'm saying? Hint the whole thing with NASA. And hint as it's written, remember about the powers of heaven. You know what I mean? So hint the Space City and the powers of heaven. You know what I'm saying? When you go into the book of Isaiah 14, remember Lucifer says what? I will rise above the stars of God. Hint the Space City, the stars of God, representing the saints of God. So you see how Harden was out there in Houston because Houston, you know, hint Texas, like I said, is the Space City. And hint the whole theme as it's written that the Messiah is caught up into the throne of God and he shall rule with the rod of iron. So notice how deep this goes, and I want y'all to hear me out. Because remember Harden, like I said, played for Houston, and remember how they did that trade with Westbrook, sent him to the DC with the Wizards, and then they sent John Wall over to Houston. And remember, as soon as they sent Westbrook, like a couple weeks later, a month later, that's when you had the Capitol Hill riots. And when you understand the wizard, anyway, the wizards represent nothing but the Masons. So notice how John Wall, how he wears number 2. You see that? How he wears number 2. And see how John Wall had to go out there to Houston because hint the wall. Remember, as it's written that Babylon, as we know, we are living in spiritual Babylon, not physical, but spiritual Babylon. As it's written, and after these things, I say another angel came down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying that Babylon, the great, is fallen, and behold, and become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and cage of every unclean, hateful bird. So hence the whole theme of that, like how Babylon would try to build up the walls to protect itself from the heavens of the judgment that's coming, within the earth. So you see how that had to connect. That's why James Harden, I got to get up out of here. Where did James Harden go? He shook the lead up because why? He joined up with the net. Remember, I was talking about this with Durant, how he became the net. You know what I'm saying? And remember, I said, what did the net mean? The net represent nothing but what? And again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a net. That's why Harden had to come from Texas and work his way to net, because hence the space city, the powers of heaven. It's that deep, y'all. It's real. This stuff get real. Like I said, if you ain't got the eyes to see, I understand, because I used to be warped in this. I used to be a huge NBA fanatic. I'm talking about huge. Harden was one of my favorites. LeBron, obviously, number one. I had Harden. I liked Paul George. I can go on for days, But it's just like we got to really have the eyes to see and know what's going on against our spirit, man. And Kyrie Irving, remember, he played for the Blue Devils, the Duke's Blue Devils. And remember, he had that toe injury he didn't even really play, but I think 11 games. That year, Kyrie Irving played 11 games, man. I think he played 11 out of 26 games, something like that. 11, though, but he started at 8 in 8 games. Hint the 11 again, hint the gate. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. Let's look at it one more time. The 11, he played 11 games with Duke. And look at the gate. You see how serious this is? Hint how he had the toe injury because Duke's Blue Devils. And when you understand that, hint the toe injury because hint crushing the devil's head. And I will put an enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. My fault. So you see that with the big toe injury, with the Blue Devils. I want to get interested even more because you see your boy Andrew Wiggins is going through it as well. Same crap. He going through it as well. You know what I mean? He's going through it, as well. Everything coming to head, man. You see how he's going through it also. And notice how he started with Kansas. I'm going to get into him right quick. Notice how he started with Kansas, because as it's written, remember in Ezekiel 1:4, behold, a whirlwind come out the north. This is the wind that reveals Messiah. I'm going to get into that in a second. But notice how, let me go back to it right quick. Notice how during the time when Kyrie was there on Boston, notice how you had the whirlpool. You see what I'm saying? The whirlpool. Everything comes together. So you see how your boy played with Kansas. Notice he wears number 22. And he played with Kansas. Hint the whirlwind, because Kansas is obviously where? In Tornado Alley. And remember back during the time, remember Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. Remember she had to go through the tornado, and it sent her into the land of Oz. I remember then she made her way back to Kansas after going into the kingdom of God, Emerald City. Remember that. So I want to just use that as an example. And remember, she had to clip her heels together in order to enter back into Kansas. It all comes together. Remember, I was talking about Kyrie had that toe injury. It's deep stuff. Notice how your boy Andrew Wiggins was a Cavalier. Remember, he was a Cavalier, then he got immediately traded. But remember how he had to be linked up with the Cavs after joining up with what? Kansas. And then he became a Cavalier. Remember I said a Cavalier is nothing but a supporter of King Charles, who was nothing but King James' son. Remember I was talking about that with the King James of the scriptures. So you see how all that comes together. Notice how after that trade, he ended up where? In Minnesota. Come on, Minnesota. You feel what I'm saying? I broke this stuff down about how Minnesota connects with Cairo, Illinois. I explain that later on. But notice how all this stuff comes together, and how George Floyd, with that situation that happened in Minnesota after he left Texas. I just explained James Harden. I broke that Floyd situation down 1 billion times. But notice how Andrew Wiggins, like I said, he joins with Minnesota Timberwolves. Because remember, as it's written, the tribe of Benjamin out of the tribe of Israel. Remember, Messiah come through Judah. And remember, the tribe of Benjamin, as it's written, shall raven as a wolf. In the morning, and he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So hint the wolf, hint the Messiah has the tendency of the wolf, to seek out, for his saints. Follow me. You feel what I'm saying? Hint the whole thing, how after that, where he ends up? Golden State again. Hint refined as gold. Like, it all comes together. The Golden Gate Bridge, and then that's when all this goes down. You feel what I mean? Like, come on, y'all. Let's get deeper. Now, I want to talk deep. I want to talk real deep. I'm gonna get on Carmelo. Let me talk about Melo in a second. But notice how LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook together. Notice 360, hint 360, like a circle, right? Now let's get deep, because remember, as it's written in Ezekiel 1:16 about the wheel within the wheel that reveals Messiah. Hint the wheel within the wheel, 360, 360 degrees, full circle. Notice how Lakers has King James. Notice how they got a thunder, man. Hint how he come out of with the thunder. Remember, Westbrook started out with the thunder. Hint the shining from the east into the west. Hint the Houston. Hint how he go to Wizards, and then what happened? You got the Capitol Hill riots. Like, remember I'm gonna get deep. I'm gonna get deep in a second, because I want to show y'all something about the thunder. But notice how you got your boy Anthony Davis, how he come out of New Orleans. I'm gonna explain that later on. But just notice the 360. And hint the Lakers, hint the lakes, you know what I mean? Hint the whole theme of the living waters, Messiah, living waters, the man out the sea. So let's get deep right quick. This stuff is real. So notice how you got Durant and Westbrook and Harden all come from thunder. And remember, as it's written, and there shall go great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. Hint the whole theme of that. This stuff is deep. How they go from like OKC, then they end up in Houston, end up in Golden State, then end up out east. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is real. So let's get deeper onto this. Hint your boy Melo. I'm gonna delve into him right quick. Carmelo. You know how he come out of Syracuse, obviously. When you understand Syracuse, hint Syracuse ain't nothing but a city in Corinthia. I used to actually live out in Syracuse. I was out there for a minute. I was out there like in on like the South Syracuse, with Butternut Street, all up through there by the mall and all up in there. I was on the east. I was all over Syracuse. But I love the city. But I wanted to just explain that right quick about how you had like Syracuse was obviously, out there where in Italy. You know what I mean? It was by what? It was founded by the Corinthians, hint Corinthia, and hint the whole theme. Remember in the scriptures in the book of Corinthians, hint the whole theme of establishing, the grace of Messiah. And hint the whole theme establishing of the covenant of the heart. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the truth and themes of the spiritual aspect, just to keep it short. So notice how he starts with Syracuse, aka Corinthia. Then he goes to Denver, the Mile High City. Hint Mount Zion, the Mile High City. Hint Denver Nuggets. And then he goes to New York. Hint the whole theme of the Garden State. Like I said, I was all through New York, all over. I lived in the city in the Bronx for a while. And I was all throughout Syracuse. I was all through there. But hint the whole theme of like your boy Melo with New York, hint the Garden State, Garden of Eden. I broke down New York too in depth, and I broke down like a lot of the cities and stuff like that, and the whole map of it is insane. But notice how he do that, yo. Like, look how he go from being Syracuse, hint Corinthia, hint the whole thing of calling yourself as a Greek, and coming into the understanding, hint Mile High City, Mount Zion, and then hint the Garden State, New York, like Garden of Eden. Come on, man. And then your boy, he out of the NBA for a minute. Remember, he go to OKC Thunder too. And then he's out for a quick second. Remember Houston, that whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And then where he ends up. You already know I just broke down OKC and Houston anyway. But notice where he ends up, Portland. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy because when you understand Portland, it's deep because Portland hint the spiral. You feel hint the third eye, the spiral. You feel what I'm saying? And this is very serious because when you understand that, hint the whole theme of how he goes through the spiral and then he ends up playing with King James, linking up with King James and Lakers and the man out the sea. You know what I mean? The great kingdom of heaven sitting upon many waters, in which Babylon attempts the same, but hint the whole theme of the kingdom of heaven sitting upon the crystal river. Notice how he goes through all of that, goes through the spiral, and he ends up with King James years down the line. You feel what I'm saying? Hint they 7 and 6, 76. And when you understand as it's written in scripture in Colossians 2:17, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yahushua, aka Christ. Hint at 76 degrees of the altar of the pyramid is what forms the shadow of things to come. Because it is written, in that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and it shall be for a witness and a sign unto the Lord of hosts. Hint the 76. I'm not talking. I've been doing these videos and I got more coming. I got the 2K coming. I got a lot of other requests coming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show y'all this 76 a million times. And I can show you this nonstop. Check out my videos if you ain't seen it. Let's keep it rolling. Hint Portland some more. Now I want to get deep because, like I said, on 2K21, I was ranked top 5. No joke, dominant. And all I used was Luka Doncic. But that's a story for another day. I'll talk about that on the 2K breakdown. And I'm going to get deep on the mechanics and a lot of the deep symbolism in that game, in the whole series. But when you look at that, notice how you got your boy Lillard on the left. And notice how you got your boy Mount Zion, hint Zion Williamson on the right. And notice how Lillard has his hands on his thigh and Zion got his hands on his thigh. And notice like how they're like attacking each other. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to get deep on this because as it's written, and thy servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swear to him concerning that matter. Hint the whole theme of the great pledge, the covenant, hand on the thigh. So notice how Lillard is in the spiral. Remember, I already broke this down about the spiral. And I'm going to get deep on this. And I'm going to get deep about Zion. So when you understand this right here, it's very serious because let me show y'all something. You see how your boy Lillard has the parachute. You see that how he's laying on his parachute. And as you know anyway in the scriptures in Matthew 4:6, I just made a mistake and deleted it, but Matthew 4:6, remember when Satan tempts Messiah, what did he say? If you are the son of God, then cast yourself down, believe in yourself. And how even Messiah says, you bow to me for I am your Lord. You know what I'm saying? So hint the whole theme, you don't tempt me, you know what I'm saying? But hint the whole theme of, let your soul die and live in the flesh and elevate yourself. Float. So I'm going to get deep on this right quick because obviously in this situation, that's why Zion is on the right side, hint being the closest to God, and he's next generation. Hint that's next generation. Hint PS5 next generation. Hint the kingdom, the fulfilling of the kingdom. And hint Damian Lillard is current generation. You feel what I'm saying? Hint being on the left-hand side of God. Hint the whole thing of being the outcast. The current generation. Those who don't want to seek, the coming kingdom. You feel what I'm saying? Is that real? Is that real? And I want to get deeper because when you understand why Carmelo had to link up with Damian Lillard, because Salem, Oregon, which is the capital, is what, 76 kilometers away from Portland. Hence 76 kilometers. So when you understand how deep that goes, hint the whole thing like Salem, hint like Jerusalem. You feel what I'm saying? Hint Zion, Mount Zion, Jerusalem, Salem, Oregon to Portland, 76. And then notice how your boys wearing 7-6 together. You feel what I'm saying? Everything comes together. Let's get deeper because hint Damian. Remember on Damian Lillard. Hint Damian. Remember the movie The Omen in 1976 is when The Omen came out. Hint Damian. And remember DMX used to talk with Damian. So let's delve into 1976 because remember I already broke this down about as it's written in Revelation 12. And behold, there was a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she being with child, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his head, sought to destroy the boy as soon as he was born. Hence 7 heads, 10 horns, hence 70, 7 times 10, 70s. Hence 7 crowns upon his head. Hence July, the 7th month. Illuminati high day, July 4th. And hint the whole theme of that right there, man. 1970s, 1976. And Revelation 12 deals with the European Union as well. But I'm just saying, is that real? Because notice 1976 was the Chinese Dragon year. So it's like, it's no way around this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to utilize that thing with the rebellious child, with Damian Lillard and with Zion, you know, current and next generation. Like, this stuff is real, man. I want to get even deeper, if y'all don't mind me to keep talking. Because, like I said, I can go on for days with this NBA script, man. Your boy Kobe. Remember I said how Kobe is called the Black Mamba. And as it's written in scripture, Messiah is as the bronze serpent upon the pole. I already broke Kobe down on my series. You can check it out. But Kobe, remember how when he first got drafted, he was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets. He wasn't there went up like 10 days, I think. He didn't even play a game. I think he just did like practice. So when you look at it, notice Kobe, remember he got traded for Vlad Divac. Remember how Vlad Divac, they traded for Kobe. And I think Vlad Divac, he ended up going to the Kings right after that little trade, right away. Not too long after, something like that. But he ends up on the Kings, the crown. So let's get deep. Because obviously Divac is what backwards? Rona. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, we heard about this. And notice how Kobe ends up being allegedly buried where? In Rona Del Mar. Hint Rona don't mean nothing but the crown. Oh, you want me to show you? That's why Divac had to go to the Kings, because hint the crown. Let me show you, man. Hint the Rona don't mean nothing but crown. Oh, okay. So come on, y'all. We ain't crazy. Hint Kobe with the Hornets. Let's delve deep into this. Let's delve deep, man, because hint Kobe plays with Hornet, goes with Hornet situation. And when you understand the Hornet is very serious, because hint your boy Michael Jordan, is over there with the Hornets, helping run the Hornets. Hint Jordan is the bull, as is written in Revelation 4:7. Messiah is as the Lion of Judah, the royal bull, the Son of Man, and a flying eagle. And symbolism. And notice the Hornets. Kobe with Hornets. Let's get deep. As it's written, remember during the time of the Exodus, Deuteronomy 7:20, remember moreover, the Lord thy God will send a hornet among them until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. Hint how the Hornets help Israelites, in the sense of conquering the land of Canaan. Let's get deeper. Let's go deeper. If y'all don't mind me talking, let's get deep with LaMelo. I want to break this down real fast. I ain't gonna delve deep into it, but I want to talk about it. Hint LaMelo, how the Hornets are getting a buzz now because hint LaMelo, he wears number 2. Remember I was talking about that gate earlier, right? Okay. Hint his brother Lonzo, Laker, first starting out. Hint the Laker, the Lakes, right? Hint he ties in with Zion. Remember that, the tying in with Zion. And hint the whole theme of Louisiana. I'm going to get into that in a minute because this stuff is serious and it's real. You see how that connect right there that fast? Hint Lonzo is now a Bull. Okay? Hint LiAngelo is now, signed to play in the G League for the Hornets. And you remember how he was stealing sunglasses from a Louis Vuitton store? Remember I just said Louisiana and now the Louis Vuitton connection. Let's get deeper because that is written, when you translate praise the Lord, it becomes what? Louis Eternal. Okay? It becomes Louis Eternal. And remember I was just talking about how your boy Lonzo, how he played with what? With Zion in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all something right quick. This stuff is deep. Nehemiah 1:9. But if ye turn unto me and keep my commandments and do them, though they were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet I will gather them from thence and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there. Hint the whole theme of Louisiana. When you understand about the ships, you remember how the ships used to transport through Louisiana. Like I broke this all down on my channel. You can check it out. But I want to just keep this thing rolling. But just notice that Louisiana connection with Lonzo with Zion. Notice why Zion had to rise through Louisiana and how he had to come out of Duke as well. You feel what I'm saying? And hint the Louis Eternal. And the Louis Vuitton sunglasses with LiAngelo, the Louis. Notice, remember I was just talking about the Hornet. Let's get deeper. Hint the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hint the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hint the Hornet. The Wasp, the Hornet, the Ant-Man. Let's delve deep because Louis was, remember he helped lead Ant-Man. Remember that in the Wasp. Notice he was born in 1976 and he had to play Louis. Let's get deeper. Hint Lewison on Teen Wolf back in the 80s. He, hint the wolf with Lewis. I told y'all I ain't done. Remember I was talking about the Timberwolves earlier with your boy what's homeboy name? Andrew Wiggins. Remember I was talking about the Timberwolves. Let's get deeper. And I want to tap higher into this. Let's get deeper. Hint the Teen Wolf. He plays basketball. Notice behind him, he got number 45. Because what's so deep about that is when you understand 45, hint 2021 to 1976 is what? 45 years. Hint Revelation 21, everything going through the great fulfilling, Messiah reaching power. Symbolism breaking out. Godzilla versus Kong. Things Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. Like all of this stuff everything is about the battle because in the spirit, everything is magnifying. You feel what I'm saying? I'll get into that later. But notice how Teen Wolf, how he wears number 42 and hint he got 33 behind him because hint the ascension. Remember Messiah at 33, the great ascension. Hint 42 is what the Lewis wears because when you understand number 42, hint 42 deals with what? It deals with the furnace. It deals with steel and the atomic numbers of the periodic table. Hint as it's written, Messiah looked as if he was burnt in the furnace. You know what I'm saying? Let's get deeper onto this, man. Look at Lewis on power. Remember I was talking about John 19:34, how Messiah with the can't breathe and the burnt in the furnace. Remember I was just talking about Teen Wolf number 42 right here and like how that means like the furnace. So listen to this. Listen to how he breathes.
Cops done with them, they're gonna give us a heads up and we're gonna hit this drop with everything we got up in here.
Have you lost your damn mind?
You see how he can't breathe? Let's delve deeper into this. Go Flashpoint. This is a whole different show. Notice Flashpoint Lewis. Look what happens to him. And I'm going to show the other Lulu or Power in a minute. But look at this. Notice how he blow up. He's burning. Let's get deeper, man. Look at this right here. Hint the fire with Lulu. And you see how he couldn't breathe. Like, this stuff is crazy. And I'm just proving my point. Remember when Kobe, he broke his finger? He had like a minor. Remember he did that against the Timberwolves. Remember that? And that was for their 11th straight game that they won. Hint 11, the gate. And let's get deeper in this, man. This stuff is real. The whole thing, and I would stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I would do in the midst thereof, and after that he would let you go. Hint the finger, stretching out the hand against the Timberwolves. Hint, follow me. You remember that it said that the Saints follow the Lamb wherever he goeth. Hint the Timberwolf. Notice why Kobe had to break his finger. It's all serious stuff, man. It's all serious stuff. And I want to just cover that, you know what I mean? But I'm actually going to end this right here. I got more of this stuff coming, man. Stay tuned. Much more is coming. Peace, love, and joy to you all. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Peace.